Hey guys, this is Pradeep from Mr. Phone and I recently reviewed the Samsung Galaxy M21, which if you don't know is the company's latest affordable mid-ranger. Now the smartphone has already been the subject of a lot of debates, but the one that I have personally heard the most is, which is the best phone under Rs 15,000? Is it the Samsung Galaxy M21? Or is it the Redmi Note 9 Pro? Or maybe it's the Realme 6? Well, in this video, let's put an end to this debate because I will be comparing these three smartphones end to end. So from their designs, to their displays, to the performance and their softwares and much more. So if you're waiting for this comparison, then grab some popcorn and let's get on with it. But guys, before we get on with the video, make sure to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already so that you don't miss out on any awesome tech content that we put out. Now that you've done that, let's get the show on the road. Okay guys, so let's start this comparison with the design of these three smartphones, and right off the bat, the Redmi Note 9 Pro looks the best to me, and for two simple reasons. Firstly, it's the only phone here which has been constructed using an all-glass design which adds to the phone's premium in-hand feel. And secondly, I love the Note 9 Pro's symmetrical appearance. I mean, you could draw a line at the center and it would distribute all the elements of the phone evenly on the left and the right. But, and there is always a but, the Redmi Note 9 Pro is also the least ergonomic phone of these three. Now, that's thanks to its wider frame firstly and also because of its bigger display. So combine these two factors and you can all but kiss one-handed usage with the Redmi Note 9 Pro goodbye. Oh, and it's the only phone here which I would recommend you use with a case. The Redmi Note 9 Pro is slippery AF and I don't need to remind you that glass breaks but plastic doesn't. As for the competition, both the Realme 6 and the M21 look really good, but if I had to pick a winner between these two smartphones in the design department, then I'd go with the M21, and that's primarily because this phone does not come with any camera bump. The M21 is also the most manageable phone of the lot, and it's the one that I'm most comfortable using with just one hand. The Realme 6 feels oddly chunky, and I'm not a fan of the company's design ethos. I mean, how many Realme phones come with a similar looking finish, am I right? But the design of a phone is as subjective as it gets, so I decided to ask my parents which phone had a better looking design. Mom, quick question. इन तीनों में से कौन सा phone आपको best लग रहा है design wise? So this is Samsung Galaxy M21. This is the Redmi Note 9 Pro and this is the Realme 6. Which phone do you like the best?
I think this is the best one.
अच्छा, okay, क्यों?
Due to the color and all. इसका color बहुत अच्छा है.
Okay.
Smart.
Okay, valid enough. मुझे भी यही पसंद आया. Let's see what the audience has to say in the comments though. Thank you for your valuable time. You can go back to playing with the dog. So now that we've talked about the looks of the phone, which one looks the best, and we've also discussed which one is the most ergonomics, let's talk about some of the functional aspects of these three phones. Starting off, which phone has the quickest fingerprint sensor and facial recognition? Well, from my testing, the Realme 6 is the clear winner here. The fingerprint sensor on the phone was rapid and the face unlock was even quicker. The Redmi Note 9 Pro takes the second place, but only because its animations were slower. What I mean by that is that the phone was registering my fingerprints at the same time as the Realme 6, but it was slower to unlock the display. The M21 was the slowest to use, and I'd also like to mention that I much preferred the side-mounted placement on the Realme 6 Pro and the Redmi Note 9 Pro to the rear-mounted sensor on the M21. The phone just felt more natural to unlock. So now that we've discussed the functional elements of the design of these three phones, let's talk about the audio solution on board. Now, none of these three phones comes with a dual speaker setup, but the loudest mono speaker is hands down on the Redmi Note 9 Pro. It also has the clearest audio output, so if you're going to watch a lot of movies on your phone, you should take this into account. There is a headphone jack present on all three phones too, so that's great. The last two bits I want to address about the design of these three phones is number one, only the Redmi Note 9 Pro comes with a notification LED. I mean, you do get a fantastic always on display with the M21, which I'll talk more about in the next section, but no LED. Secondly, the haptic motor on the Redmi Note 9 Pro is without a shadow of a doubt better than what you get with the M21 and the Realme 6. I mean, the one on the Realme 6 is so bad that I switched off haptic feedback the second I started using the phone. Oh, and you can't do this with the Realme 6 or the M21. Okay, so with the design out of the way, let's talk about the display on these three smartphones. So the Redmi Note 9 Pro comes with a 6.67-inch IPS LCD display with a Full HD Plus resolution. The Samsung Galaxy M21 gets a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED panel with a Full HD Plus resolution, and the Realme 6 gets a 6.5-inch display with a Full HD Plus resolution, and the display is IPS LCD as well. All the three phones also come with Widevine L1 certification, however they don't offer HDR10 support. Now here's the kicker, only the Realme 6 comes with a 90Hz refresh rate panel, whereas the other two phones come with a standard 60Hz screen. So which one has the best display? Well, if you're into media consumption and if you watch a ton of Netflix, then the M21 is your guy, followed by the Redmi Note 9 Pro. The M21 Super AMOLED screen is honestly a thing of beauty and the colors pop on the phone's display. You also get an always-on display with the phone, which gives you insights on your notifications without having to unlock the phone. It's pretty customizable too, and you can add an image or a different style clock to it. Coming back to the display quality though, while both the Redmi Note 9 Pro and the Realme 6 offer an LCD screen, the one on Redmi's offering has been tuned slightly better in my opinion. Also, despite having support for Widevine L1, only the M21 and the Redmi Note 9 Pro could stream content in HD from Netflix and Prime during my testing, whereas the Realme 6 couldn't. That's a major red flag for any phone launched in 2020. But if you are a spec-head like I am, then I'd say pick the Realme 6 up. Honestly, the phone's 90Hz screen is going to improve your end user experience so much, and coupled with the phone's powerful CPU, you will rarely ever feel like you're using a sub 15,000 rupee phone. Now I know I'm missing out on HD streams with the Realme 6's display, but personally I prefer a fluid display over a 60Hz panel, so I'm willing to make that trade-off. Oh, and the peak brightness level of all these three phones is about the same, so no complaints there. Okay, so now it is finally getting interesting. Let's talk about the specs of these three phones. So the Realme 6 is powered by MediaTek's Helio G90T processor, and the phone comes with three different variants of 4GB, 6GB and 8GB memory with 64GB and 128GB storages respectively. The Redmi Note 9 Pro comes with a Snapdragon 720G processor which works alongside either 4GB or 6GB of RAM, and the phone gets 64GB and 128GB of storage respectively. The M21 is backed by Samsung's Exynos 9611 processor, which also gets 4GB, 64GB and 6GB 128GB SKUs. You should also know that all the three phones come with a triple SIM card slot, meaning that they can support a microSD card and two SIMs at the same time. Now, I won't beat around the bush at all. The Realme 6 is hands down the fastest phone here. Now, I know you won't just take my word for it, but I did run a lot of games and benchmarks, so editor sub, cue the footage.
Dream. It's a fresh dream.
So clearly, the Realme 6 allowed me to play intensive games at the highest possible settings, and the 90Hz display on the smartphone made everything appear that much quicker and fluid too. Now, if you're not into gaming, then you can prioritize your purchase decision based on the other metrics I've compared in this video. But gaming and a phone's performance in general are very important to me, and here the clear winner is the Realme 6, followed by the Redmi Note 9 Pro and then the Galaxy M21. But if you're looking for a phone which will last you the longest, then the Samsung Galaxy M21 is the clear winner here. With a 6000 mAh battery at its core and a Super AMOLED display which conserves battery life if you apply a darker wallpaper, this is easily a 2-day phone. The Redmi Note 9 Pro takes the second place with its 5020 mAh cell, and the Realme 6 comes last as I had to charge it every single night. That said, I cannot ignore Realme 6's 30-watt fast wired charging, which much like its 90Hz display, sets it apart from the competition. The Redmi Note 9 Pro's battery can fast charge at 18 watts, and the Galaxy M21 cell takes the longest to hit 100% as it only comes with support for 15-watt charging. So you can opt for good battery life and great charging speeds with the Realme 6, or you can opt for great battery life and average charging speeds with the other two phones. Now if you ask me, then I'd pick the Realme 6 because I'm habituated to charging my smartphone every single night, but your opinion might differ. Okay, so the camera specs of all the three smartphones will be on your screen now, so take a gander. So let's start this comparison by taking a look at the wide shots. Now, this was the trickiest scenario for me to analyze because all the three smartphones, honestly speaking, are on par with one another when it comes to taking daylight wide shots. But if I had to pick a winner, then it would undoubtedly be the Samsung Galaxy M21. Take a look at the shot of the gate of my home, where if you zoom into the corners, then you'll notice that the M21 had the clearest definition in the leaves. While the difference in the details at the center of the frame wasn't night and day between the three phones, the M21's photo still had the most authentic colors. In a similar fashion, if you look at the shot of my back garden, then you'll notice that the dog sitting in the corner of the frame was exposed the best through the M21's lens. Now this is something that I want to bring to your attention. The Realme 6's image processing emphasized a lot of darkening the shadows, thereby outputting a more dramatic image. The Redmi Note 9 Pro, on the other hand, boosted the colors by quite a bit, making the image appear like something you'd see on an LG OLED TV in a Chroma store. See how the fur of the dog looks orange and not brown in the final comparison shot? Yeah, that's not really what I like. The M21 on the other hand clicked the scene as is, and therefore it's my favorite of the three here. Coming to the close-up shot, it's very evident that all three smartphones can create a very convincing blur effect, but when it comes to the overall vibrancy in the photo, it is also evident that the Samsung Galaxy M21 cannot do that after the sun has set. Also, if you zoom into the butterfly, you'll notice that the M21 shot doesn't have a lot of details and there's quite a lot of smoothing going on too. In comparison, both the Realme 6 and the Redmi Note 9 Pro clicked more vibrant images. However, the details were amiss on the Realme 6's shot too, and it had a lot of noise at the center of the frame. The Redmi Note 9 Pro shot looked the best, as the details around the butterfly's eyes were the sharpest and the colors looked the nicest, and there wasn't as much grain either. So no surprises here, the Realme 6 managed to squeeze out the most details of a high-res shot thanks to its 64 megapixel sensor. Zooming into the center of the frame and focusing on the tree, the Realme 6 managed to bring out the fine details in the bark of the tree as well as on the crows nesting on the branch. Although the M21 exposed the frame better and had good details in the shot too, it is still playing second fiddle to the Realme shot. The Redmi Note 9 Pro's sensor gave me a lot of trouble with the high-res shot as it refused to focus properly, so it's my last pick here. As for the ultra-wide shots, the Redmi Note 9 Pro takes a clear lead here. At 100% crop, the Redmi Note 9 Pro shot had the least blurriness around the edges and the colors weren't grossly oversaturated either. The photos from both the M21 and the Realme 6 were on par with one another, but the M21 is edging out owing to slightly sharper corner details. Now if you're clicking photos after the sun is set, then the results from both the Samsung Galaxy M21 and the Realme 6 are far better than the images from the Redmi Note 9 Pro. Now between the two phones, I preferred the shots from the M21, which although weren't as bright, were much sharper when compared to Realme 6's photos. Now in terms of selfies taken during the day, the Realme 6 took the best photos of the three phones simply because the colors looked natural and the skin tone didn't seem softened. The Galaxy M21 is my second pick here as it clicked images with slightly lesser details, followed by the Redmi Note 9 Pro selfie camera. But in terms of portrait selfie, the order is reversed and the details from the Redmi Note 9 Pro shot, coupled with its fantastic blur effect, make it my top pick. If you're into videography, then I'd give the Galaxy M21 a hard pass. Now for one, the smartphone doesn't support 1080p 60fps recording and only supports 30fps recording on 1080p and 4K resolutions. Secondly, I wasn't a huge fan of the 1080p clips either. The footage looked over-sharpened and there was no stabilization to speak of either. The Redmi Note 9 Pro and the Realme 6 both offer 1080p 60fps clips and I liked the output from both. However, the audio output from the Realme 6 left a lot to be desired, and I much prefer the audio captured by the Note 9 Pro's built-in microphone. Lest I forget, the Note 9 Pro also comes with a Pro video mode with features like focus peaking, so if you like shooting videos, the Note 9 Pro is definitely your guy. Okay guys, so this is a 1080p 60fps footage from the Realme 6, so do let me know in the comments below. If you like this clip over the one from the M21 or the Realme 6. Also the shift in camera, the image quality from the 1080p recording, and also let me know how the audio quality is from the built-in microphone. So the software running on all three phones could not be any more different. While all three phones have been updated to Android 10, they all come with a custom skin on top. So starting with the Realme 6, you get the company's Realme UI on top. With the Redmi Note 9 Pro, you will get the MIUI version 11, and with the Samsung Galaxy M21, you're going to get Samsung's One UI 2.0. Much like the design of a phone, you could be partial to the software experience on either of the three phones. Now, the way I see it, all the three custom skins are on par with one another in terms of features, be it having a dedicated dark mode or supporting screen on and off gestures, or a theme store for added customization, to a game mode to enhance the performance. There are a lot of similarities here. All the three skins also come with their share of bloatware too, but I would pick Samsung's One UI 2.0 any given day over the competition, and I'm sure you've all guessed why by now. I am referring to the ad situation on the Realme 6 and especially on the Redmi Note 9 Pro, which is going to flood your notifications tray with random alerts. Now, you could disable the apps that are allowed to push notifications over to your end, but at the end of the day, it's just too much work for anyone who has paid money for these phones. But if we talk about the software updates, then the Samsung Galaxy M21 has much to learn from the Realme 6 and the Redmi Note 9 Pro. For one, it's still running the February security patch, whereas the Realme 6 comes with the May 2020 security patch, and even the Redmi Note 9 Pro offers a March security patch. Also, I'd like to mention that when it comes to Gcam support, then both the Realme 6 and the Redmi Note 9 Pro come with level 3 support, which means you can unlock premium features like RAW capture on a Gcam app, whereas on the Galaxy M21 the support is very limited. So that's my take on the software on these three smartphones, but do let me know in the comments below of what you think of the software situation on these three phones. Oh, and if you wanted to see a detailed in-depth comparison between Realme UI and MIUI, then click the link above my head to see Irshad's full in-depth comparison on the same. So this finally brings us to the verdict. Which of these three phones should you buy? Well, if I talk about a well-rounded smartphone, a phone that is the jack of all trades but master of none, then you can either pick up the Galaxy M21 or the Redmi Note 9 Pro. Now, between these two phones, do know that the M21 will offer you better battery life and a much better display, but the Redmi Note 9 Pro comes with a better design, faster day-to-day performance, and quicker biometrics too. Now, if you were confused about which phone offers the better camera, then on the whole, considering everything, I would still pick the Redmi Note 9 Pro. Why? Well, because while it is true that the Galaxy M21 takes better, more clearer daylight photos, do understand that the Redmi Note 9 Pro was better in almost every other scenario. Not to mention, the Redmi Note 9 Pro also comes with superb video modes such as a Pro Video mode, which is incredibly valuable for somebody like you who wants to maybe start their own YouTube channel but does not have a lot of budget. So features like focus peaking and all the other stuff that you get with the Pro Video mode are going to come in handy quite a lot. But if you ask me which is the best performing smartphone of these three, then my pick would undoubtedly be the Realme 6. Why? Well, because number one, it comes with the fastest processor, it comes with a high refresh rate display, and it also offers the fastest wired charging experience. Now, personally, when I'm buying a smartphone, then I'll honestly look out for only these three things. I don't really care all that much for the rear camera, but I do care a lot about the selfie camera, and thankfully this phone has a very capable selfie camera too. So if you're a spec head like me, then you will undoubtedly love the Realme 6. But guys, that wraps up my in-depth comparison between the Realme 6, the Samsung Galaxy M21 and the Redmi Note 9 Pro. Do let me know in the comments below which phone you would pick under Rs 15,000 given the choice of these three devices. And also, if you enjoyed this video, do like it and share it with your friends. Until next time, this is Prateek from Mr. Phone signing off.